There you go. All right, here we go, guys. Before we get started, just kind of walk through this thing. If anybody type any questions, you just let me know what the questions are. Does it come up like on the screen or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see everything. All right, so what you guys are looking at right now is we got the walls in. The forms are pulled off. And my job is to go through and look at it, you know, just make sure we don't have a whole lot of honeycombs. You can kind of get right here. You know, that just means where we didn't really vibrate it really, really well. It's got, you know, just got little small areas, but overall, just kind of look at the walls. This looks really good, you know, I mean, it sits on the footing. All the bulkheads are okay. Got this right here. This is gonna be a door. Got here. That's actually a high door, man. I should have put it maybe a little bit, a 6'8" door right here, man. That's good. What my guy's doing now is we're spreading the gravel, so we need about 2 more trucks of gravel. And we're gonna talk about this. Actually, let's talk about it now. I sat there and watched the truck. I had the truck trying to get in here, and I tried to get in here and bag back and bring that gravel up here, put it back here, so we can dump it right here in the middle. This guy, he got his car. Hey, Jen, we need some umbrellas out here, don't we?
I got my rain.
Hey, it waited dead till this right here class started. Yep. And that's how it works, though. Yep. Then it want to rain.
Always.
He got his back tire stuck right here. He was spinning, but all he had to do was bag straight back and get in here. And so he ended up not being able to. We had to dump the gravel right here. I had to have that skid steer over there to get everything and get it up in there. There's more work, all right? But what I realized, and what you guys got to understand is when you don't want to do something, I can just kind of tell the attitude, the guy, because I'm sitting here looking at him. I said, tell the guy to give me a call. I can tell him how to get up in there. He wouldn't call me, because I was talking to the dispatch lady. But what I realized, guys, when somebody don't want to do something, they're going to come up with an excuse. They're going to figure out a way not to do it. When you want to do something, you find a way. You figure out a way, and that's the name of the game, man. You got to figure out a way to make it happen. And this right here, and this whole thing is just like this right here. This is why I get hired, because what I do is I refuse to accept no. I don't know. I don't know, man. I was just raised that way. You know, you couldn't give excuses when I was growing up.
How do you get the honeycomb over here?
Huh?
How do you get the honeycomb?
And then you're gonna be able to do about that. It is what it is. And that's small. Now, that's not really like a true honeycomb. You're gonna have those little areas right there. That's I wouldn't really say that's a honeycomb. Honeycomb is much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. And they actually, it's to the point to where if any water gets through here, it comes on through the house. Now, the good thing about this right here, you see how high this is? See how high that well, that's not really a honeycomb. It's just like a little spot, like this little area. But this right here is above the natural grade. You see what I'm saying? So the groundwater is not gonna come in through this right here. That's not gonna happen. But I just want you guys to kind of see what it looked like. So what we got here, you see we got all the walls on. You see, that's a lot of walls.
That's a lot of walls.
Now I got the one that's over in Birmingham. It got walls all the way on 3 sides. And it's just as big as, it's just as big as this house. But the walls all the way is a full daylight basement. But the walls gonna go all the way around. So they're about these 2 houses about neck and neck. Now, the other one I got, it has a full daylight. Like, it's like this right here. It has this side, and this whole side is full daylight. So you don't have like this right here. See, if we could have got away, say for instance, this house right here just went straight back, we'd have been okay. That means that bulkhead on this side right here we wouldn't have to do. But we got everything. You see, we spread the gravel. Spread that gravel around. And we're gonna come in, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in, we're gonna, you know, I should have got the plans, man. I'm gonna go get the plans in just a second. But we're gonna come in and we're gonna, when they get the gravel in, the plumber's gonna come in, he gonna do his thing. So the plumber's gotta come in, put his stuff, he should be here today. I hope he come in today. So it looks like we're gonna be pouring this thing next week. Probably the first part of next week. Because it's gonna rain, it's gonna start acting crazy. So I'm thinking the first part of next week, the end of next week, maybe the week after that, we'll be framing. Okay? But you can see the flat work. We're gonna see all the flat work. Now, we do have an area here where you're gonna have an elevator shaft.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is that area I'm not gonna pour, you know, that's where the concrete, we're gonna form around that right there. So that, cause you need about 8 inches on that elevator shaft. So when the elevator come down, I'm not gonna put the elevator in, but it's gonna, when it comes down, it needs to have a little spot where it can come down to, and it needs to, instead of, we're gonna get it set up to where when they do it, they're gonna have the least amount of work they have to do. So they won't have to cut the concrete out and do all that stuff. And then possibly bust pipes that's in the slab. We don't wanna get into that. So we gotta see what's going on here. You guys can ask questions as we go. Now, this right here becomes a problem because on this footing right here, my concrete guys, he don't like that because now he's gonna have to, this is not level, so he just can't put a board around here and just make it all level. You see what I'm saying? So now he gotta form this up to make this right. So that means he's gonna have to work a little bit more. But he's not enthusiastic about that. But that's okay, man. You know, I pay right now, guys, maybe I shouldn't say this. Right now, man, we spot on budget. We on. We okay. But him doing that little extra work, he may bump us out a little bit. That, you know. We got a little wiggle room right now. You gotta see where this concrete goes. And this is a lot of concrete, man. This our walls took about 70 yards. I think I calculated 50 to 60 yards, so that's probably another $2,000-3,000 more. Now we got a little steel wall I got coming back here, so I can take that wall and push it back there. So I already had my guy to come out here. I got a landscape guy.
Are you planning to use mesh fiber in the slab?
Mesh fiber?
Yeah.
No. Good question. The reason being is, if you guys understand what mesh fiber is, that's that little chicken wire. It looks like chicken wire. We're not gonna do that in this slab. I'm gonna do the fiber that they put in the concrete. Carries about the same strength. We got about 3,000 PSI on this, but the reason I do that is because a lot of time, and it works, guys, a lot of time when they pour in that mesh fiber is supposed to sit right in the middle of that concrete pour. So if you got 4 inches of concrete, you need to have all that mesh fiber, that wire, it needs to be all up 2 inches. Perfectly 2 inches all the way around. And then while they're pouring it, it needs to stay that way. But what happens is when you're pouring it, those guys are stepping on it too at the same time. So they're stepping on it, they're pushing it down, and I just don't think it holds up as good as the fiber that you actually put inside the concrete. Because we're gonna put the fiber. It actually, I think neck and neck. They probably neck and neck is for strength, but I like it because it's a whole lot cleaner, and the guy's not stepping over stuff, tripping down and stuff like that. How you guys doing, man? What's up, baby? You didn't, you all right? You ain't sick or nothing, is you?
No, that's some family stuff.
All right, man. All right, that's good. Yeah, you ain't got to go. We online now. I'm messing with you. All right, man. How you feeling? What's going on, buddy? All right, let's walk on through here, guys. I want y'all to feel what these guys have to, what we got going on. All right, so now we're starting. This is the first phase of the waterproofing. Okay. So if you see right here, y'all see that stuff right there? That's that black tar stuff they spread. Come on around. We're gonna walk all the way around this right here. This is your waterproofing right here. So this is if you look at natural grade, that grade is gonna come down. It's probably gonna come down about right here. See that? So that's gotta be waterproof, right? And you see where I put that yellow stuff up there? Y'all come on, we're gonna walk on through here. So y'all can see what the guys have to work in. Just don't step on this right here because it's still kind of wet a little bit. But you see what we got here? All this waterproof. And this right here, this little stuff right here, when we talked about that right there, that's that board. So when they push this dirt back, this dirt right here, when they backfill this right here, this dirt come down, these rocks and stuff, don't punch a hole in this right here, it's gonna hit this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why y'all think we got this right here? What's that for? Why does it bump out like this?
To keep distance from evening it on out, so that way all that weight don't collapse on one part of the wall.
Well, no. Why we got that there? Well, I guess it'd be better if I had the plans of the house here. This is what you call a brick ledge.
I was gonna say, there's where your bricks go.
The brick don't sit on top of this. This is so I don't have to. Let's think about what would happen, guys, if I didn't have this brick ledge all the way around. So that means I had to lay. See, brick got to be laid at the lowest point.
Right.
So I had to start all the way around right here and lay brick. So all that brick gonna be covered up right here. I would have to lay that. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of labor.
A lot of waste.
There you go.
But I have a question.
Who put that brick
You're
there?
gonna push that over there so that you're gonna be able to see from that ledge all the way up with brick because it's gonna be level down.
Now see, we're not gonna have the now when the guy, he's just gonna do a backfill.
Okay.
So he gonna leave this right here. This right here is gonna be exposed.
Okay.
He
so
may
that's
cover it
what
up
it-
just.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, he may cover it up. He may cover it up a little bit, but the brick guys are gonna know they're gonna dig down a little bit and get to this right here.
Get to that.
Now, I hope they don't dig down and with that shovel and knock a hole in this right here, and that way, we got a problem. But what's gonna happen is, now, like I said, when we lay this brick, once we lay the brick, then we're gonna come back and do what they call a final grade. All right? Final grade that's what the grade of the house is gonna look like. This house right across, right over here. That's gonna be our final grade. And say we got that brick laid up right here, our final grade may be right here.
But it's gonna come down as a slope because you got these steps right there.
That's where it's gonna come down, just like this right here. So it looked like we bricked the whole thing,
Right.
but we didn't. So if you guys kind of step through this thing right here, so we got this is a lot of dirt to move. Now, we're probably doing a very dangerous thing right here. Y'all remember we talked about that, what was that? What was that we talked about? The trenching? On our safety stuff, we talked about the trenching. So I tell you what, let's not put y'all in that situation, because I don't even like the way that, it's probably not good to have that on TV. I was gonna walk y'all through that right there, because you can kind of see what the guys got to work in. We can kind of walk this way. We can see the same thing. Now watch those boards right there. I hope they don't, chances are, man, somebody's been attempt to have a nail going through a board and be turned upside down so you can hit your feet when you walk on it. I actually bought a pair. You guys ever heard of indestructible shoes? Yeah, I bought me 2 pair. So this is what we look like right here, man. You kind of see all the walls. Y'all see we got our anchor bolts in, 6 feet. Huh?
Those roots and stuff will have to move so they don't function. Like see how those roots are going that
Well,
way?
those roofs they ain't gonna do too much. It's the rocks that we're concerned about. Them rocks, when they get the backfill and them rocks starting to fall, they gonna hit. So all this right here gonna come out. You look at all that right there. Now we're gonna take that and put it in the front. I got an idea for that.
Yeah.
Somebody stuck.
That was rolling.
Huh?
That was rolling.
Coming, right?
Yeah.
You got that loud
Yeah.
Mustang.
Yeah.
So those rocks, I got an idea for that, guys. We can use that in the front. We can use it in the front as like a natural thing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this right here, man. This is what we're gonna do. We'll probably do something like this right here. You see this right here is called a geostone wall. That don't have to sit on footing. So you can actually put that there and you can put all that dirt right there and make that work. Now it'd probably be a good idea to put it on footing, but I'll let the landscape guy figure that one out. Looks like they got a fool. like a lot of money going on over there.
Oh, so this house gonna be brick like that house?
Yeah, oh, it's gonna be. You see how that natural grade falls down right there?
Yeah.
If I go probably about 2 feet down, I guarantee you I see a brick ledge just like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of how we do it. So it'll look just like this guy. You see how that slope come down? And I get that's right there. That looks like a rock, but it's not a rock. If you open that up, it probably have a that's what they call a water flow, some kind of preventer, something to keep certain kind of water from going back into the system. I forgot what they call it, but you got to put it on. You usually put it on pool because you don't want the pool water mixing in with the regular water.
Gotcha.
It's called a backflow preventer. Right? And y'all see I got my anchor bolts in. Those anchor bolts need to be spaced. You need to I think the code is 6 feet, every 6 feet, and they had to be within 1 feet of the corners. Okay. So we got a couple more loads of gravel. I hope the gravel guy come out here while I'm out here, man. So we're gonna help him get that truck up in there. Huh? Man, y'all know my cold was the first time? I almost cried out there, man.
This gonna be used for extension.
Yeah, what I'm probably gonna do is we're probably gonna take these guys right here and put them up on the front right over here and create a retaining wall in the front. I'm just thinking out loud. Let me quit thinking out loud, because if I think out loud and put it on, it's on live stream, so that means
Somebody watch.
Here's how it works, guys. Everything you do when you're building, if you're doing something that deviates from what you planned on doing, it's called a change order.
Right.
You have to charge for those change orders. There's so much stuff that goes on in building. If you don't charge for that change order, you'll forget it and you'll lose it, and that's a lot of money. It can be a lot of money. So what happens is, a lot of times you have to understand homeowners. I'm not saying this particular homeowner, but I had to treat everybody the same. All right. Some homeowners I've dealt with in the past, they have what they call selective memory. So if I'm sitting here saying, hey man, we're gonna take this retaining wall, we're gonna do this right here, and that's just a good idea. What I told them I was gonna do is I was gonna pay for it. That's what I told them.
Right.
That's part of the cost now. That's called selective memory. So I have to make sure that don't happen. That's why everything you do on a build site, you want to make sure you do a change order. Okay? And make sure y'all discuss the scope. This is what's gonna be involved in this right here. And then that way you don't want them to think that you're gonna do it for free.
Right.
I've had that, guys. And I'm telling you something else too, guys. This right here, when I'm sitting here talking out of, when I first started building, this right here has cost me a lot of money. Because a lot of times I've said, like a homeowner said, don't you think a fence would look good back here? And I was like, yeah, it will look good. Well, you know what I just told them? I was gonna put a fence. In their mind, they heard, oh yeah, you said you were gonna put a fence back there. Everything has to be clear when you're dealing with people. You have to be very, very direct. And guys, this is really, I'm talking to everybody, but I'm channeling a lot of energy towards you guys, because a lot of times you guys are not as direct as you need to be. You guys want to beat around the bush. And what I deal with and what I do, if you're not direct, see, you need to get through all the bull jive, all the junk, all the garbage. People come to you, they have, hey man, I want to do this right here. Let's get to the point, man. Where you at? What you want to do? This is how I am, and this is how you're gonna be. If you guys get out here into sub trades and dealing with subcontractors, you got to be very clear and direct with everybody, because they'll take things for granted. They don't, like I said, these guys have selective memory. Man, you're gonna make me get in the weight room, buddy. How you doing, man? Right.
What's the purpose of this rebar here?
Well, what we did here, this is the property line.
Okay.
And what happened was, when I first showed up out here, we had 2 points set. We had a point right here, the corner of the house set, and I had a point back there set, okay? Well, my guys were trying to figure out what the other 2 points was. Y'all remember we talked about this right here? We talked about how you we pull the diagonals, and you had a length, and if you look at the hypotenuse, if the hypotenuse is the same, then the two corners on the other side have to be an exact square. So what they were trying to do is square the house up. That's basically what we were doing. So those guys were like, well, we can't square it up because we can't see the other 2 points. And that's when I was out here, guys. I'm gonna tell you, I was out here, I said, hey, look, here's the property line. We had that marked. And so we marked those 2 property lines, and we was able to pull from here to here and get that distance. And then we were able to use that, the hypotenuse, the Pythagorean theorem, to figure out what the other 2 points were. And we had a stake over here I took out earlier. That was the other point. And so we was able to find this house on this lot. That's why we had that there. That makes sense. Guys, all this stuff, mathematics, man. The good thing about it, guys, I used to be a math teacher. And so math is easy for me. And I'll tell you something else too, what helps me a lot too. And it just helps me. It's like life just worked out really, really well. Being a math teacher, what I learned how to do is problem solve. That's critical. I can't tell you guys. Coming out here being able to problem solve, like that guy when he dropped the whole load of gravel right there in the driveway where we couldn't get anything up in here. Well, because he couldn't figure out how to problem solve and get the truck back here where he can dump it off in the middle of the lane. I could have done that. Like I said, when these people get out here, they want to do the easiest thing possible and get back home and sit down up under the TV and watch TV. That's what they want. Well, I'm not saying that if this guy, if this truck guy see this right here, I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying that this is just people in general. People in general want to do the easiest thing possible. They want to get back home. Everybody's not designed like that. My job is to get it right. You got to get out here. You got to get this thing right. So I guess we're gonna walk back through it, guys. Y'all, let's just kind of walk back from the beginning. Since everybody's here. Monty, what's up, man? Pull mine out. Now this is the erosion control stuff that's going on, guys. Let's kind of go through that. What I did was we fixing to do a backfill, right? So we're gonna disturb all this right here. All this right here gonna get uprooted. All this right here is gonna be like that over there. So all that siltation is gonna be coming down. So I had my guys come back out here and put the silk fences in. Now there's 2 kinds of silk fences, guys. This is what they call a Class A silk fence. It has the wire in it. It has the metal stakes. Now you got the one at Home Depot, which is very inexpensive. They just have the wood stakes, and then they just have the silk, the fence itself. They don't have the wire in it. And them things, I mean, now we could have put that up here, but every time the truck comes, see, trucks don't like to run into this. Tap the truck. Cars don't like to run into this. But not only that, it holds a whole lot stronger. You see how stable that is? The wood ones come down. Typically, when you put these up, they here to the end. And I had to have my landscaper to take them up. So we got this in place. So all that siltation that comes down, now you get water in here, but the silt won't get in the road. Does that make sense? And once again, I got my gravel right there. And that gravel is gonna keep that mud from those trucks from getting into the road as well and impacting the drainage, the inlet that they got down there. Now I may take some of these, my son probably later on today, probably tomorrow, whatever, he's probably gonna take some of those hay bales and protect those inlets. So we'll have him to do that as well. Any other questions, anybody? Y'all hit me, y'all can hit me with the questions now. All right, right here, what y'all think this pipe is gonna be used? Come on, what y'all think this pipe is gonna be used for? Think about concrete. Think about water. That pipe got little slits and holes in it. You got holes in that pipe. You look real close. If I get up in there and look real close. This is not the ideal one to use, but got holes in it. What y'all think that pipe is gonna be used for?
Drainage water
come through and
where?
And filter out.
The house,
Correct. This is what you call a foundation drain tile. You got 2 kinds. This right here is a perforated one. You have another one that's a rigid one. Rigid is much better, but it's more expensive. It's more expensive to install. This right here works just as well. You're gonna see the one we have up here, it got a sock on it. See, when the water comes down, on this side, we're gonna put it around the perimeter, we'll put some gravel on there. When that water comes down from the foundation, right, it's gonna come on down, it's gonna go through a sock, and you're gonna see a little sock. It's just like this right here. So that means we got good water, we got clean water, and instead of having little beads of rock, it's gonna clog this up at some point in time. That's the whole purpose of that. Does that make sense? Now the one that you have, the drain tile, the rigid one, it don't have these little slits in it like this right here. It got big fat holes at the bottom part. So you lay it down with the holes facing down, and then what happens is the water comes down, comes back up in the pipe, and you don't have no rocks and stuff coming back up in the pipe. You see what I'm saying? You have the water comes back up in the pipe, and then it flows out. I've used that before. I like it a whole lot better. And see what you want to do. Here's what you want. Here's what we want to happen right now. Once I get this pipe in, I want a good rain to come through. I want to get this thing backfilled, and hopefully I have a really, really good rain to come through. And I'm gonna come here, and I get up in the middle of the night. If the rain come in the middle of the night, I'm gonna get up with a flashlight, guys. This is what I do. I'm gonna come in at the middle of the night, and I'm gonna get that flashlight, and I'm gonna shine it. These right here, things right here, it has to drain to what they call daylight. So you're gonna have one that's gonna come out right, I'm gonna shoot it out right over there. It's gonna be up under the driveway, but it's gonna come out on the other side of that little hump right there. And the others are gonna go straight to the back. And they gotta go to daylight, right? And what I'm gonna do, when they get those in, now, we're not gonna have it that far right now, we're just gonna have it right at the end. So when they get them in, what I'm gonna do is, when they have a good rain, I'm gonna come through here, I'm gonna shine that light, and I'm gonna make sure water's coming out. If water's coming out, we're good. We're good. Now then, I'm gonna connect a solid pipe to this right here and take it under the driveway and where it needs to dump out at. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's that.
So the rain is not in the forecast, and you lay that, how do you test it?
Well, at some point in time, before we finish this house, and hopefully before I get my landscaping in, we get a good rain. And that's gonna tell me what I need to know. Ideally, man, it has never failed. Every time I built the house, close to like framing, I went on framing, I get a real good rain. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's what I realized. Guys, it rained today, right? It's probably gonna rain tomorrow. That's in the forecast. I don't know. It's almost like when I wash my car. If you guys wanted to rain, wash your car. If you guys wanted to rain, do some concrete work. It's gonna rain. And I'm telling you something else. I tell you how you can make it stop raining. Go plant some grass. I'm telling you, I don't understand it, man. When I get out here and do, especially if I don't have my sprinkler system hooked up, because you know we have a sprinkler system here. If I don't have the sprinkler system hooked up, what's gonna happen is it just won't rain. And all my grass is dying. I'm like, man, just give me a rain, you know. And you know, so that's how it works, guys. So we have to make sure. I have to make sure I plan for all these things. Like say, for instance, I make sure my sprinkler system is in before I have the sod in. So you got to plan for all that stuff. Just kind of walk on. Hey, Mr. Core, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry I'm late.
Hey, nah, you good, man.
Also, does an excavator get paid by the hour or by the job?
Yeah, he get paid by the hour, man. And I tell you what, man, when that excavator show up, and I know I like my excavator, man. I tell you what, man, I gotta. And this is a shout out to my excavator. This is Ray, guys. Ray's a good guy. Matter of fact, his dad was named Emmett. So he got a dad that got my name. I used to get into wars. When I say wars, I used to get into wars with excavators. Cause see, that big front end loader that they drive, it costs $130 an hour for them to move dirt. And here's the thing. If he can move, because if you don't really know how things work, he can just take this dirt and move it over here, and just take that same dirt and keep moving over here. And I call it riding on your time. And those guys, and I'm telling you, I've got bills from excavators that was just, I know it was more than what it should have been. So what I started doing, guys, before I build a house, when I build a house, my excavator, I'm gonna be out there all day, just like the concrete guy. I'm gonna be out there all day, and I sit down in my truck and watch that. Every time he stop that truck, I log it in. Every time he get on his phone, I log it in. He stopped at this time. And so when they send me a bill, you gotta be savvy on this stuff. When they send me a bill, I'm sitting there calculating everything. And I can go, and now I can go back and say, hey, look here, man, you charge me too much. Like I said, guys, it's a big pot of money. The excavator sticks, hey, you getting too much. This is what I'm doing. But now, here's what I started doing. So I started doing that. And so I called Ray up. Ray did, he been doing this about a year and a half, 2 years for me. But what Ray didn't know, I had those cameras up there. And this is a real link camera. They gonna probably start paying me because I've been talking about them so much. All the builders been asking me about them. When you bring that front end load on this site, when you crank that thing up with really loud noise, it start recording. And it sends everything to a cloud. And what happens is I don't have to be there now. Every time you move on this site, it starts recording. So I'm seeing everything and I'm logging everything onto a cloud. We got that memory, it's in memory. And so what I did with Ray, I didn't tell him anything about it. When he sent me the invoice, and I sat there with that cloud, and he was Johnny, he had everything right. And I said, now this is the guy that you can use. The excavators, Mac, I'm glad you asked that question. There's some guys you just gotta trust. I trust them now. Now, that don't mean I don't stop checking on them every once in a while. Yeah, once in a while, you know, you're gonna get vetted. That's just like some of my subcontractors. In some cases, like even my lumber and just all the subcontractors, at some point, I gotta shop you, man. I gotta make sure that you're giving me the best price because I gotta make sure that homeowner gets the best price. Lumber now is a budget item, guys. I can't take a lumber hit. I took a lumber hit on my last house. I lost $20-some thousand on my last house because lumber jumped in price. But I ate it. It was a bad sandwich. Y'all ever had a mustard and peanut butter sandwich? It's hard to go down your throat when you swallow. That's what I had, guys.
$20,000 mustard peanut butter sandwich. Where are you going to do
Yeah. Say that again, Janet. What's that?
the two big trees right there? How do they affect you?
They probably gonna have to come down.
They have to come out.
Yeah. I got 2 or 3 more trees. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I really hate this. I want to have a connection with. I want to have a connection with nature. I hate to take trees down, but we may not. Now here's something else, Janet. Guys, you asked that question. Y'all see how this right here is covering up that trunk of that tree right there? That dirt is on that trunk of that tree. Now this is probably a good season. He may live. If we can get this dirt off of it before trees and stuff start turning green again, we may be okay. But I hope I didn't kill him. You know, but that will kill a tree. Okay, so now y'all see how this thing look. Now guys, we got these forms off. This is what you want. This is our retaining wall. Remember, we got rebar all up in there. They'll saw that off. But we got rebar all up in here. Now, and actually this turned out to look pretty good to me. Right here, this is where my drain tile, that drain tile is gonna come through here. We're gonna take it and run it under the driveway, and we'll dump that water off back there. That's coming from the foundation. This is you guys see the black stuff on here? That's my waterproof. That's what they sprayed on there. And y'all see the yellow stuff?
Insulation.
Well, that's not insulation. Actually, it does serve as an insulation as well, but what it does is when I do this backfill, you don't want those rocks to knock a hole in this black tar and mess it up.
Yeah.
So here's what's fixing to happen now. What's fixing to happen now, I got 2 more loads of gravel that's gonna come out here. And they're gonna finish filling all this right here up with gravel. As well as some of the gravel is gonna be put. You want that drain tile to be right in the middle of 6 inches of gravel. So you want 6 inches down here, drain tile, then 6 more inches of gravel. Does that make sense? So that when that water comes down, it goes through this gravel, which is 57 gravel. They call it 57. I forgot, it's something about the inches. But that is gonna go through that gravel, wick through the gravel, go through the sock. I thought I saw it somewhere here. So he put it at. Let's see, he might have put it up. Yeah, hit. Right there. Mike, get a copy of this right here. Put your camera back over here. Matter of fact, let me just get up. I'll get up here and push it. Show it to you. shouldn't be that heavy. I know an old man can move around like that, dude. Yeah, that's what it. Yeah, I see how we got the.
So this one connects to that right there.
No, yeah. This right here, they're gonna have this wrapping all the way around the house. Then it's gonna come in now. It'll come through here. When it comes through here, it's gonna connect to a solid pipe, not the one with the holes in it. Because we taking all this water here and just getting it out, getting it away.
But it's got to drain the daylight, you said.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're gonna have daylight over there.
Yeah.
But you don't want water coming out the pipe going up under your driveway, so that's why you had the solid pipe to go on.
Correct. Because you're gonna have groundwater up in there too. Like, see, if this right here, if this pipe not solid, what's gonna happen is the groundwater, like if you had that perforated, you get little rocks and stuff in the gravel that's gonna get in there and it'll clog that pipe up. So eventually we had to change that pipe out, so we had to bust up the driveway. You don't wanna do that. That makes sense? All this stuff is gonna start coming together, guys.
Also, do you subcontract the same people on every job, or do you move the crew around sometimes? Or do you use
Guys,
multiple
every
crews?
job I've done, I've never had all the same subcontractors. Like I said, everybody's gonna get vetted.
Yeah.
I mean, let me just say it like this right here. I don't want to say it like this, but it's probably only one way to say it. I have to check everybody out. I have to vet everybody all the time. And sometimes some of the guys, sometimes I want to use certain guys and they're too busy to get to my job site. That happens. Sometimes I shop the guys and I find somebody else that I'd rather use. So the answer to the question is no. Most jobs I do not bring the same contractors, but in most cases there's certain ones that I really try to keep. Excavators, framers, concrete guys, my MEP guys, that's mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. I want to try to keep those guys. Especially if you get you real good. I got my plumber, he's really good. He's a really good plumber. He's very savvy. And he does my HVAC too. So they're very savvy in his trade. These guys are like, and that's what I like. I like people that are very savvy in their trade. They're always trying to think and do the next best thing. Those kind of guys I try to pull in the circle with me. Okay? I don't want somebody, oh man, I gotta go to work today. Those guys, somebody, if you show up to my site and say, well, you know that ain't gonna work. Well, you probably gonna get ran off my site. I refuse to believe whatever I want to happen can't work. I mean, if I built this whole house, we gonna make it work. We're gonna figure out a way. And once again, I use that same analogy. When you don't want to do something, you come up with an excuse. When you want to do something, you come up with a way. That's what we need to be focused on, the way. How do I do it? Now, I ain't gonna take him out of his code. Like if there's a code or something like that, I'm gonna look at what he's talking about. And then if it makes sense and it's very logical, I might have to say, okay, man, you got a point then. We're gonna do it your way. I have a problem with that. I might have to make somebody else adjust. I'm open to that, guys. I'm not so rigid so I can't change the way I think. And I'm gonna tell you something else, guys. If you can't change the way you think in this game, you're not gonna make it. If you think you can do this thing all by yourself, you're not gonna make it. If you're out here, you wanna be a one-man show, you're not gonna make it. I'm talking about in the building world. I mean, even in the subcontractor world. If you guys gonna come out here and be subcontractors, you can't get out here and do this stuff by yourself. You got to have a team. This is what it is. All right, so what's gonna happen next is they're gonna get some form boards. So they got these form boards they're gonna bring out here. They're gonna get these form boards. Y'all can see the footing right here. We actually got a fireplace somewhere right here. We'll form that out. But we'll run our footing. We'll run some form boards all the way around. They're gonna have some problems right there, man. He already told me, man, I don't like that because we were about to run out of concrete, and it's kind of wavy back there, but it's good. So they'll run that form board, and we'll be level all the way around there. We'll be the same level, and we're gonna have this gravel spread it out. You see this gravel here? It's gonna be spread out about 4 inches. All right. Then I'm gonna come back. Gosh, I need my plans now. I'm gonna come back. In the plans you're gonna have, I'll tell you what, Mac. Let me run down here and get these plans. Hold on a second.
Someone was expecting rain. So I shouted the chick, man. All right, we have to run to the car and get the cat.
You know, okay. All right, in this house, guys, if you look right here, I'm gonna turn it the way that the house is. Turn that way. All right, right here, y'all see this right dotted lines right here?
Yeah.
Those are what you call grade beams. Where the steps are,
Grade beams?
they're called grade beams. And you got one big one right here. It goes right there, goes all the way right here. See that right there? Y'all see those dotted lines? What that means is we're gonna dig that gravel about a foot deep right there. So that all that gravel you see, well, we're gonna dig that on out. We're gonna dig that out, well, not probably about a foot, but about, we're gonna dig that gravel on out. So that when you pour the concrete, it's gonna be thicker there. And we also gonna run rebar inside of there as well. Does that make sense?
Reinforcement.
So we're gonna reinforce all of that right there. So we're gonna have those grade beams. So when we get the gravel there, we're gonna come back, run our rebar. We're gonna dig it deeper, then run that rebar in there too, just like we did on the footings. Cause this is just like a footing. All the weight of this house, boom, is right there. And notice that my loads are going, my joists are going this way, which means that this right here is a load-bearing wall. All those are load bearings. Carries the load, the whole load of that house is coming down, boom, right there at that area. And on the footing. Does that make sense? And then here we got the piers. So we got those we got to fill in too. So when we pour the slab, we'll put these in as well.
For the deck.
Correct.
You gonna tell them about the elevator shaft?
Huh?
You gonna tell them about the elevator shaft we discussed?
Oh yeah, yeah. Also, let me see where the elevator shaft at. Here it is right here, guys. Yeah, this house is gonna have an elevator here. Well, I'm not gonna do the elevator. Yeah, they'll hire somebody else to do the elevator, but I'm gonna get it set up so when they do have it, it's gonna make it easier for the guys so they don't have to bust up concrete. So what we'll do is we'll form around this little shaft right here. We'll form around it. I think they need about 8 inches. So that's concrete and gravel. So we'll form around it with some 2x10s, and we will pour everywhere else and leave that space open. So that when they come back and do the elevator, now we may put some plastic or something right there so that groundwater won't be coming up. But that's what we're gonna do.
$250 million? How much is this house?
$250,000, that's just 250,000, man. Hey, you almost need to multiply that by 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, multiply it by 3, and you kind of where you need to be at.
Well, I've seen houses with, and it's not like a big commercial size elevator. It's about this, like you have a door.
Yeah.
So it's not a like just a
Great.
regular size door,
Great,
and it's
great.
about that size. So
That's what you heard.
it's a big deal. It's still a big deal to have an elevator, but it's not a full-on commercial kind of elevator.
Yeah, it's not the kind you be in that. It's not the kind, it's kind you open up the door just like you said, open up the door. Also, she gonna have a now this doesn't require. Right here is what you call a dumb waiter. So she got it where she can pull up in here. Now she will put this in. These things cost about $4,000 to put in, but I would frame for it. So what it is if you come in through the basement, instead of you taking all your groceries and have to walk upstairs with them,
Yeah.
you just put in that dumb waiter, hit the button, and it'll take it upstairs for you. People are starting to do that. That's starting to be common. The houses you guys gonna see over in Ross Bridge, they got an elevator now.
Is it mechanical where it's like like that.
Oh no.
I got that, bro. He's the way.
No, we gonna, hey, buddy, we gonna
Push
be.
buttons.
Hey, that's probably more work doing that right there than
Yeah,
just walking
it is.
upstairs with the bags.
Leave that joint playing that.
Now we could have, actually done a main level garage. This lot probably wouldn't have, I don't know if it could take. I would have to look at it. We probably could have got a main level, but that's more expensive than that dumbwaiter.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and
That's it. Oh, go ahead.
there's a big emphasis on aging, things that will allow you to age in place, right? So this kid's back on what things I might actually know something about. So, houses that allow people to stay there even as they get older and have more trouble with stairs and things like that are both great, because then people can really live there a lot longer, plus they have greater resale value because everybody's looking for that capacity. So
Yeah.
Great point. If you guys go to Atlanta versus here in Birmingham, the houses are kind of different. They're a lot different. If you go to Atlanta, in most cases, not all cases, in most cases, the master is going to be on the second level, and all the bedrooms are going to be on the second level. Well, if you're getting older, you don't want to keep going upstairs.
Right.
But if you come here, most of the people, we build houses here to stay in them almost forever. So usually the master is on the main.
Yeah.
Like on this house right here, the master's on the main. Now you have 1 or 2 bedrooms upstairs. And for the most part, all the houses that I'm doing right now, the master's on the main.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a main level garage. You don't ever have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like on the house I'm in right now, we got a garage in the basement. And so I gotta walk upstairs if I want to park my car in the garage. I mean, now I made a little pad up front where you can drive up to the front and just walk in the house, but that don't look good. That don't look good. Neighbors can complain. It's probably against the covenants, so that becomes a problem.
and for people with disabilities.
Yeah, you're gonna have now. They got that little thing where you can. Y'all know that little thing you can sit on and it just take you upstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That may be an option. Because I know my legs are starting, man.
Like I said, I get it because of my knees were so bad. When I looked for my house, I wanted everything
They
on
flat.
one level. But my main thing was the wash and dry. Because I came from Collarbone, I wanted to walk straight to it and put it in the wash, and I had to go any stairs and do any of that stuff. So,
Now my next house, I'm gonna go ahead and just put the laundry room in the master closet, and then I'm gonna put another laundry room upstairs. You see. And then that way, because I don't want the people upstairs, even because you can just wash clothes. Because I find myself doing all that walking with the laundry stuff. So that's another thing. But this is what we got, guys. So now you can see. I'm gonna get over here. Y'all can see this. We got this storm shelter right here. So this worked out really good. So she can actually get in here. And we're gonna have about 10 inches of concrete right up above her too. And there's gonna be some big bars that's gonna hold that up. And so you have that concrete there, and I mean you'll be encased in concrete. Now she can put one of those doors on that. Look, let me not say that. That's something she could do if she wanted to. She can put a door here, those metal doors that open inward. Somebody, Janet, was that you? Told me to open inward.
yeah, open this
Yeah.
out.
She can put a door that opens inward, close that thing in there, and she good.
So is this whole thing reinforced with rebar?
Oh yeah, we got rebar, just like the tic-tac-toe rebar that y'all saw initially. We got it all the way around.
I see, like you said, this is a big house. I see it more now, man.
Yeah, that's a nice size house.
Yeah,
man.
sure is.
Yeah,
It's
this
a nice size house.
I mean, guys, you're gonna really see how big it is when we put the slab up. When we start framing it, you guys will probably catch the tail end of it. You guys, this class will catch a little bit of the framing. All right.
You said we can come back and take a look at.
No, you can always come back, guys. You can come back, take pictures. You guys can follow the whole process. I'll be streaming it. I'll be sending it out to you guys. You guys make sure y'all go in there and do y'all quizzes and tests, man. I know most of y'all done already took care of y'all, but y'all make sure y'all get on there and do it, especially these field trip things, these questions I have on the field trip. Now,
Is do you have a header up? I mean, I see or is that just a single board across?
now they got rebar in there. They got like 3 or 4 bars of rebar on the bottom. This is the whole one. See, once that concrete cures, it locks in place. It's almost like brick, guys. If you was bricking this right here, see those bricks when they intertwine like that right there? Once that mortar cures, it's gonna hold. Unless you got too much weight on top of that brick, and the opening's too big. Now what we're gonna do too is, once we get all this right here formed up, once we're gonna get it dug down, all the grade walls, all the grade beams, we're gonna put some 6 mil plastic. Spread it out on this whole, all over this right here. All the time. Why are we doing that?
Over the gravel.
All it's gonna be spread out all over the ground.
Moisture back, keep it from moving, right?
Well, no, what do you say?
Moisture back.
You're gonna keep that moisture from coming out the ground. Because guys, y'all understand that this right here is porous. Water vapor moves through this right here like it ain't even there. Believe me. Yeah, so that moisture will come up through it, and now you get, and that's why a lot of cases, well, in a lot of cases, you notice you can be a little bit colder in the basement. Then what you're dealing with is humidity. Humidity is what makes you, like, humidity gives you the extreme of everything. If you're in a very humid place and it's hot, you're gonna be extremely hot. If you're in a humid place and it's cold, you're gonna be extremely cold. Like it's humid out here today because it's raining, guys, so it's a little bit more chilly right now, but the temperature probably ain't that bad.
It was about 60 when I was about looking at the dashboard.
60 is not a bad temperature. It was 60 yesterday. It was about 60, 65, but it was a nice day. It was a nice day if it's not that humid. You see? So what you want to do is, a lot of time in the basements, that humidity is coming up, or the humidity is coming from sideways, and it's getting in that basement, and that's what makes you uncomfortable in that basement. Now, what you can put in the basement is you can put a dehumidifier.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you something else too. I don't know if you guys knew this, but your HVAC unit, y'all know what one of the main purposes of that HVAC unit is? Is to remove moisture. It's that you guys think, oh, we just condition air, make us cool and all this kind of stuff. No. What it's doing is, you want it to cycle. That's why I have my guy. That's why I like my HVAC guy. This guy's very savvy on this stuff. He does what they call a manual J load calculation on this house. He figures out how this house is positioned on the planet, what products we're gonna put in this house, and that tells him what size units to put in this house. Once he determines on what size unit to put in his house, he puts something that's sized properly, because what you want is that unit to come on and stay on for a long time. Because as long as it's on, it's sucking humidity out of the air. That's why you see that condensation thing going, and it's getting the water out, and then that makes you comfortable in the house. So even if you're in a house that's almost 78 degrees, if the humidity is not there, it actually feels comfortable in there. It's like, man, why it feels comfortable in there? I actually built the house in Trace Crossings, and it was the first speculative green certified house in the state. No other builder was doing spec houses that were green certified. And I certified through Earthcraft House from the South Phase Energy Institute over in Atlanta. The homeowners kept looking at the thermostat. They were like, it's gotta be hot in here. It's gotta be hot in here. I had to go over to the house. I took a piece of tape and I covered up the thermostat so they couldn't see it. And I said, just focus on being calm. Because this unit was designed to do this. There's no, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day they had those VCR, and when the power go out, it flashed that little at 12 o'clock all the time. Man, I came home, I went to see my dad, man, and my dad had a piece of tape over the little light. He said, I just can't figure out how to set it, you know? I mean, that just kind of reminded me of back in the day. So you guys know. You guys know.
I'm
messing with you.
We got it from here.
What's a VCR? You guys don't remember payphone, don't you? Y'all don't. Y'all don't.
We don't remember that. We're not
We
that.
got children in this corner here. We know.
Pages, yeah, hey, you know my daughter one time asked me, man, I had an old record. She said, "Mom, look at this CD." And I was like, "That ain't no CD. That's a record. You know, that's a record player. You know." And yeah. So this is what we got going on now, guys. So hopefully by first of next week, we'll have this poured. We'll have this done. Once again, we got the anchor bolts up there. The anchor bolts are going to be. Remember this, guys, on the test. If you see the test, 6 feet apart, and they're gonna be 1 foot from each corner. There's another thing too. Every time you have a splice in that bottom plate or the seal plate, what's called seal plate that we're gonna wrap this thing with seal plate, treated lumber, right? Every time you have a splice in that seal plate, you have to have an anchor bolt within a foot of that splice. Sometimes you have to put those steel plates right up next to each other. Gotta have that.
Do you set a budget for every job after you close the deal on a project, or do you wait for the subcontractors to send you an estimate?
Man, you better not wait on those subs. You got to know everything on the front end. This wall, I already know what's gonna cost. I knew this wall was gonna cost me months ago. I got these guys cost months ago. Now sometimes things change. Like I said, it changes a little bit. So, but it shouldn't change dramatically. And my job, like I said, hey man, you got too much money out there. That's the job, guys. They're gonna be trying to get more money. Hey man, well, lumber went up, so we gotta pay more lumber for this right here. Hey man, this is what you got right here. But I'm reasonable. So yeah, every job site has to have a estimate.
And do you have software for that?
If it's raining, do you want those plans up? It's drizzling a little bit.
Yeah, come on, so get those plans. Roll them back up for me. Thanks. Go ahead.
Do you have like a software for that?
Yeah, man, I got a great software. I actually went over with another builder yesterday. It's called Build Exact is the one I use. Now there's one called Co-Construct. You got several different softwares. Everybody's doing their own thing. I use Build Exact, and I got a class next mini term. It's called project planning, and it's also, we're gonna mix in estimation in that class. So we're gonna go over that software. And I'm gonna go over how you actually calculate. The software actually does it all, man. It does a lot of stuff. And then it's cloud-based too, so I don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. And then not only that, that software keeps my subcontractors, say for instance, it has a Gantt chart on it. The Gantt chart means this is where we need to be at this particular time. And then also what it does is when I get to a particular time, when that subcontractor's coming up, if I put it in there, it'll shoot an email and a text to that subcontractor and say, hey, we're finna get started over here. Y'all need to be over there in 2 weeks. See, thank you, man. So that way, guys, right now, I'm a 1.5 man show. That's my half a man right there. He learning, guys. He learning. He gonna get there. Really, you need about 3 people. You're gonna run a building team. You need at least 3 people. You need your guy that's on site. He's called your superintendent. You need, actually, you probably need about 4. You need a guy, an administrative guy. You handling the bills, make sure everybody get paid, and then you probably need somebody going out there selling it. Well, you don't even need salesmen no more because people are coming to us now. This is a great time to be a builder. I keep telling you guys, you got to get yourself set up right now to where when the opportunity, the market goes up and down, guys. Goes up and down. It may catch you going down, but if you're there, if you got your business in order, you got your stuff in order, you got your licenses, all your stuff that you guys need to be able to do this right here, if you just got it in place, so when the market goes up, you're gonna win. That's when you take advantage. Don't think it's always gonna be going up, guys. Don't think it's, guys, he don't remember this right here, man. There's time, man, I mean, we made sure they ate before me and my wife ate. Him and his sister, but the little brother hadn't came yet. We had some tough times. You know, in 2007, yeah, 2007, man, I walked in the bank, man. It was a deal they didn't want to make with me. I said, hey, look, man, you take this deal. I ain't gonna pay you. I'm not gonna give you another penny on this house. Because you got to pay interest. I was a spec builder. I can't do it no more. I went out, and I think I was working at Parker High School as a substitute teacher, making minimum wage. I was coming from a builder making about $100,000 a year to making minimum wage. So you imagine how I felt. And it was tough, huh? Yeah, I was working, man. I worked at Parker, man, and then I lost my certification. I let my certification go. I had my certification to teach. I was teaching math. And I was teaching math at Parker with a certification, but I was they were paying me minimum wage. I calculated what I was making as a substitute teacher. I was making what I should have went to McDonald's and just started working at McDonald's. Literally, this is no joke, guys. And then things just started to, I started to get back on track. Man, I owe so many people. Because I went broke, man. I owe a lot of people, guys. A lot of subs, man, did work. They sued me. They all came in and sued me. They sued me. They came at me. They garnished my wage. Guys, I was making minimum wage at Parker, and they garnished that. When I say garnish, so here's the way it works. If y'all don't know how the laws work, the Alabama law allows you to make 40 times minimum wage. Anything over that 40 times minimum wage, they can take. They gotta allow you to have 40 times. I think they were probably getting, I might have been making another $100 or $200 a month extra. They were taking that. And time was tough, man. It was tough on me and my wife, man. Heck, probably, it was so tough, I'd be honest with you, it probably, if she could afford it, she probably would have divorced me. Yeah, that's how, it was just bad. She probably, if we could afford it, we probably would have went our separate ways. It was rough, guys. Yeah, and guys, so don't think it's always, oh man, this dude right here. No. The name of the game is stay in the game, man. The market's gonna do this. The market's gonna do this right here. But you guys gotta find a place, and I'm talking to everybody, you guys gotta find where you fit in at. You gotta find what God put you here to do. And that is called your purpose. So whatever that purpose is, you got to figure it out. And you younger guys, you guys really need to be figuring it out really, really quick. You need to pair up with some of the, I call it, you pair up with some older guys and let them kind of direct you to where your purpose is. So all of us, we kind of, when you get a little older, you kind of know what your purpose is. You know what you're put here to do. And you focus on that purpose. Nothing is going to take me from my purpose. Nothing. I tell my wife, I know this guys, it's going to sound bad. You see this right here? She says, you can't believe you saying that right now. My purpose is more important than anything. Purpose. That's what I was put here. That's what the Creator put me here to do. So I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna come back. And then I gotta focus on me. I gotta make sure me. I gotta make sure I'm healthy. All the stuff that I need. And then I start lining everything else up after that. My kids, my wife, dog. We can line it up however you want to line it up, guys. But once you get that program, and like even right now, guys, I just say that it's just critical that you guys get there. You get there. You guys got to be focused. You guys need to be laser. We all need to be laser focused. Laser focused. Y'all got so many distractions today. So many different things coming at you. Your cell phone, they taking you all which ways. Distractions. I'm not saying don't have no fun. Don't have no fun. You got to have a little fun, because I got to keep my mind stabilized. But purpose, man. I mean, look at these guys. These guys coming out here doing this right here. Those guys are focused, man. He came out here this morning. He knocked us out the way. He going on to another job. I mean, he did. He rushed. I mean, if you saw the car, he went boom. He got out of here. He going to another job. And then he gonna come back here later on, and we're gonna have some more gravel. Hopefully that truck come out here. He gonna spread the rest of this right here. They gonna form. It's about 3 of these guys. 3 of them. And they have this thing done, man. And then they gonna get this money. They gonna make what, $7,000 off of this right here? He gonna, the head guy, he gonna divvy it up. He got 2 other guys, he can give them a little money. He gonna take $3,000-$4,000 off, put it in his pocket, keep going to the next job. Man, it's little, that little bitty money. I mean, and then he gonna go to all the buildings. So it's good money in this concrete work, guys. I'm telling you, man. This is the foundation of the house. This is the most important piece.
But you take that $7,000 and keep doing this at 4 or 5 job sites per day.
Let me say this. Thank you, Judy. You just put me off into something else. I know, guys. I know I'm rambling a little bit, man. I'm just trying to give you guys as much jewels as I can, jewels and Easter eggs as I can while we're out here. My first house I built for me and my family was over in Lake Cyrus, and I just built the house, because I know I could afford, as a teacher salary, I could afford a big nice house like this. So I figured out a way. I was like, maybe I'll just be a builder. I don't have to pay the builder's fees, and I could be in a nice house too. A nice house too. And so that's what I did. I built the house for myself. And the guy that came out there to frame that house, his name was Mario Vera. No, sorry. Joe Rivera. He was my first framer. He came out there. That house is about 3,500 square feet. And I paid him, his bill for me was $18,000. That was back then. That was in 2000, I don't know, 3 or something like that. $18,000. That's what he made off of that framing of that house. Joe Rivera, okay, Joe Rivera didn't come out and pick up one nail. He didn't come out, he didn't pick up one board nowhere. He had a crew that did it. Joe Rivera, and I talked to Joe, I said, hey Joe, man, how much you paying them guys, man? He told me he gave those guys, I think it was like $6,000 between all of them. 6,000, 18, 1, 2, 3.
12.
He put $12,000 in his pocket. Now you have to pay taxes on it. You better pay your taxes, that's another thing. We'll talk about that later. But he put $12,000. Guess what, guys? That was the smallest house. He started 4 of them that day. That was the smallest house. My house was mine was just like a skittle or something. He just, getting a taste. He was doing 4 other houses, I think 4 other houses that same. He was starting them. He was getting his crews out there, he was starting. Now Joe Rivera, and Mario Rivera was my painter. And matter of fact, when my daughter was a little girl, she was sitting there talking Spanish to me. And she had a Spanish teacher in daycare. But she was talking Spanish to Mario Rivera. Mario Rivera right now is 400 million strong. He merges with DR Boyd to take that something. And he started out as my painter. He painted my house. Then he went into sheetrock. Then he went into framing. These guys are winning, man. But the thing about it is, there's enough money to go around. You don't have to be the guy to get all the money. There's enough money to go around to everybody. But you guys got to be serious about this. You can't get out here, nah, man, get out here. Find out one of these trades you can do. If it were me, I would pick one of these trades. Concrete is concrete. I'm focused on concrete. It's framing, I'll pick framing. Focus on framing. But I'm going to master it. And it might take you younger guys, it might take you 10 years. 10 years. But like I tell my son, man, from 18, your 20s, and your 30s, you ought to be grinding. You should be working no more than 60 hours a week, just enough time to get home and, take a shower and do what you got to do and get back out to work again. Most men, I'm talking about men are not gonna, you're not gonna hit your maximum earning potential till you're around 45, 50 years old. You're just not gonna hit it. That's all right, guys, I think,
Wait, who specifies the concrete?
who?
Yeah, who?
You say who specifies the concrete?
Yeah.
When you say specify, now I specify now here's the thing, the code tells you what's the minimum PSI concrete you use. PSI means pounds per square inch, okay? He's getting it out. I'd like to see that, man. But the code says that. And all of this right here, I think it's 2,600 PSI that we can use. The slab, the walls, and the footing. I use 3,000. So I always bump it up. Now, I like to say this right here, guys. If you're doing things according to, I had a builder, he was saying, well, I make sure everything's done to the code. If that's all you focus on, because mind you, the code is the minimum.
I should say you're doing the minimum.
Think about it like this right here. You need heart surgery, right?
Right, and they just go do the minimum. To get
So you
that
go
all
find a doctor that got to see you. He made just enough to get his MD. That's not the guy I want to use, man. When you use somebody, at least you want to make A's. Yeah. So the minimum code, guys, when you look at the minimum code, like the specification, it's the minimum in the code, like 2,600 PSI. I'm gonna have to bump it up, guys. I gotta do better. I gotta go above and beyond the bare minimum. Okay, did that answer the question?
Yeah, I think so.
Those tab things, they not the concrete.
Okay, on the inside, though, we didn't get this right here, Clark. On the inside of the concrete, you had to have those walls spaced out a certain amount of distance, right? And it had to stabilize those walls. So you got tabs. Those things go, they little long tabs. They go all the way through the walls, all the way down.
Okay.
And then they take these little anchor things and stick them through and lock that wall on the other side, lock the other wall, and they go all the way down that wall. And you can look down.
They on that corner.
Yeah. Yeah, and they really just pop off at the end. They just didn't pop that one off, but that's what they do. They stabilize those walls so that we can pour that concrete, so those walls don't bow out like this. They don't come out like that. That's what that's for. Good, that was a good question.
Spacers? That's what
We're kind of like spacers, but they keep the bulkhead. See, like, let me see what they do. I wish I could find one of them. They sit on, so they go through the wall, right? and they hold that wall like this right here to keep the wall from doing this. Now we have the those braces in here, you know, to keep the bulkheads from doing like this. This right here was keeping it from doing like this, from doing like this, or going like this right here. You see what I'm saying? That's what this.
Continuous piece, and those two pieces break
Yeah,
off.
this is gonna break off at the end.
Right.
But this right here going all the way throughout the walls, like every so many feet apart. And then they you know, then they had like a little thing they stuck in there. Y'all can see them when they stuck them in there, and it locked those walls together. And so that's what that's for.
And who determines the type of concrete?
Huh?
Who determines the type of concrete?
The type of concrete?
Yeah.
Now, I determine that type of concrete. Now, no. What we're doing determines the type of concrete. All right, so say for instance on this right here, I had to, I couldn't back a truck up again post right. I couldn't use a boom truck, right? So I had to use what they call a line. Y'all saw that line pump, right? Well, that concrete has to be able to flow through that line and actually work out. So we had to do what they call a Mako. It's called a Mako mix. It costs about $20 more. So what you're doing determines the kind of concrete because I couldn't pump regular.
Allowed to do it in determines.
Yeah, I couldn't. If I put regular concrete, we would have tore that line truck up. So we would have had a problem. We'd have had a concrete out here. And here's the thing, guys. If you got a concrete truck out here and you're not ready for that concrete truck, you got to eat it. When I say eat it, you're going to have to pay for it. My last house, I had to send 2 concrete trucks back because we weren't ready. That was $2,000.
That somebody else used that concrete.
Well, no. You can't use it.
Concrete trucks are usually about $1,000.
Huh?
They're about $1,000.
They hold 10 yards of concrete each now. And
Yeah, that's right.
hey, you know something? I didn't think about that. God, no, you're absolutely right. He probably did that. But he was like, I had to send him back. I think something happened. Oh yeah, the boom. Once again, the guy didn't. He was ready to go home. He didn't want to boom, because the boom truck. We had a boom truck, and he was like, I can't get no closer. And so he couldn't get the boom. The boom truck got to be able to get to every point in his house. He couldn't get it out. He couldn't make it work. And so I had to send the truck home, and then I had to pay for the pump truck, and I had to pay for the concrete. The pump truck was $1,700, and the concrete was $2,000 because it was 2 trucks. And they just sat out there, and I said, hey man, hold up, we're gonna get this right here right. I'm trying to get these guys. It was just a headache. And so I went on, I made the call. But you know where you probably went down and said, hey man, y'all got it ready? I got some concrete. Yeah. So that's you probably right. And then sometimes they come in on the I don't know. Did you guys see the back of that wall right there? Y'all see how it looks?
Looking back down.
Yeah, let's look at this right here. Right quick.
I was looking at this.
I'm sorry, I forgot that. Yeah, you know, we were gonna walk around there, but I got nervous. I was like, nah. Y'all remember we had all those classes on safety and trenching and caving in. So I just want you guys to look at this right here. Right here. Like I said, this right here is gonna be everything.
What's that in between?
Right here?
In between the yellow and the concrete. That's concrete too?
That's right. Yeah, that's concrete.
Oh, okay.
That's concrete. Now, this is the brick layer. We just poured the concrete thicker here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And so that we can carry the weight of the brick.
Gotcha.
But this right here, now, it actually kind of serves as insulation, but it's really not insulation. This is to keep those rocks from busting up waterproof.
What you call it?
I forgot what the foam board.
Yeah,
I think that's what they call it.
Foam board.
But that's what you want it to look like, guys. And we're gonna run that drain tile all the way down here. Boom, and we're gonna hit daylight. And maybe we'll get and that tree about to fall, guys. Y'all see it? They got about 5 more days, man. It's gonna come down. Yeah, it look like a big oak tree, but it's finna come down, man. I'm gonna have to cut that one up. Oh, you can have it. Anybody else, guys?
Well, you hoping it falls so you don't have to get back and cut it down. I'm not mad at it.
I might.
He started getting burning in the fireplace.
Oh yeah, man. They you get, now a lot of the homeowners now are starting to request not to have wood burning fireplace. They want that. Everybody that I show that video to with my electric fireplace, that's what I want. I want an electric fireplace. You, do you burn it? You use it?
It's not, I have to burn it probably a few years, so, but I have to burn it.
You like what? Yeah, but man, everybody got units now. Those units do good. HVAC units.
You gotta clean out, you gotta clean out that chute and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I don't like all that, man.
That's a lot of work.
Now,
It's the art to it. That's what I like.
y'all remember we had the snowmageddon?
Yeah.
When we had the snowmageddon.
Oh Lord.
What grade you was in at that time?
I was in the 7th grade.
When we had snowmageddon, that was the day our unit went out. I told you I always get the worst part. Our unit went out and we had to burn. You know, I went outside and chopped some trees and branches off. And that's what I used to burn. I burnt that stuff because we had a wood burning fireplace. So that worked out then. I don't want to do that.
That's your main source of comfort, but like it's just that extra, you know.
But what we ended up doing, everybody went upstairs because we had the unit upstairs. I was like, man, on the coldest day on the planet, the unit went out, and I was like, because I was going to enjoy those couple of days off. I was like, man, I got these couple of days off, we can chill. And and then I had to go. Guys, I hate going upstairs. I don't even like my house. I hate dealing with my knees. I don't like to go up there. And then I got my youngest son, man. I know when I look in his room, it's gonna be junky, and I know I'm gonna have to fuss. So I just don't feel like going through all that, you know. Anybody else, man? Anybody else? We're gonna. That's about it.
What's the square foot of this house?
I don't know if you can see it.
This house right here is 3,500.
That's the safe. I don't know how well you can see it.
Oh, that's nice.
But that's the safe that's in the house, and it goes inward. Yeah, you buy these and you don't have to put them in case, they just sit there. So that might be something you want to start looking into instead of paying all of it, whatever. I mean, they got
That looks
all
really, really
they
nice.
have different sizes.
And it's pretty
This
too.
was sitting in the garage. For
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
okay.
This was just sitting in the
So they can do
garage.
it on the main level too.
Yeah, they can do it. They put it anywhere you want in the house.
Okay.
They can encase it. If you want it in case hidden, all that stuff.
I like that.
What's it
This
called
is
again?
just
That's a
family
storeroom.
safe.
This is-
Yeah, but it's got a name.
Family safe.
Family safe.
And you know what you can do with that too? If somebody break in and get to acting crazy, you can go in there and lock yourself in there, and they can't mess with you.
Can't shoot
You know,
through it.
I got
Can't shoot through it.
that came from a movie. That
Yeah.
movie. Oh yeah.
Yeah, safe room.
Like
Yeah.
a safe room?
Yes.
Safe
Yeah.
room.
You can't shoot through it. It's just a storm
What you
shelter.
say? You running from your wife? You run in there.
Quick question.
here.
So this review for trying to the next process. So you say you go put the gravel over, but you said something about slabs on the footings. You gonna put that first before you run the gravel?
No. We just gonna run. We're gonna run the forms on the footing.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant.
So we're gonna take hold it right. We're gonna take these boards. What the guys will do, just take these right here boards here like something like this, maybe a little thicker, maybe 2 by 10, and they'll outline the house like that.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And they'll go all the way around. That's why they have a hard time right up there, because it's kind of wavy.
Wavy, yeah.
And so they'll form up the house. They'll form up, let me show you this right here. They'll form up, you can get this right here, Mac.
So they're gonna start with brick from ground up on this house.
Huh?
It'll be brick from
There
ground
you go,
up.
there you go. So they're gonna start, so this is where we at right here. So we right here. I knew that was gonna happen. So we right here at this corner right here, guys. This is where we at right here. So those guys are gonna take those boards right here and they're gonna outline. Remember we said we had to have carpenters. Y'all remember we were talking about that? We had to have the carpenters come in. But our concrete guys are carpenters too. They can do this stuff. So they're gonna outline this house right here, right? All the way around here, and they're gonna start right there because we got the wall right there. Once they do that, they're gonna pour that, they're gonna make sure it's level too now. So they're gonna raise it up, gonna have the little thing beeping, make sure they got 4 inches of concrete or 5 inches. I usually calculate about 6 inches of concrete. And so what they're gonna do is they're gonna form all that up, right? And once they get that outline of that house done, they're gonna come in and pour that concrete.
Okay.
And so they're gonna, now mind you, we have to get it inspected too now. So once we get it all, once these guys get all this gravel in, we got our plumbing in, we got everything ready, what we're gonna do at that point is we're going to have it inspected. Inspector come out here, he makes sure we got everything the way it's supposed to be done according to code, make sure it's code compliant. minimum code, and then he gonna release us to pour. And then so I set up all my concrete guys. We're gonna have to probably line truck this in too.
Okay.
So we'll come in, we'll pour all this right here, and we'll have our anchor bolts on this little area right here, same way we got it up there, and then with the exception of the garages, we'll have none there. And so now, yeah, garage right here, kind of right over there. Now let me say this right here too. Now here's what's gonna happen too. Now when they float this concrete, when they floating it. Once they get right here to these garages, like this garage area, they're gonna slope it. They're gonna use that level, it's gonna be high right here, but it's gonna be lower right here. Why is that?
So that water runs away from the
There
house.
you
instead
go. You want
of
that
in the
water,
house.
you want all the water to run out the garage, in the garage bay. Now, we also gonna have like a little lip right here on that garage, so that water can't jump back up in here. But we're gonna have all this right here, probably right around here. Now this is gonna probably be regular, but if I get any water in this basement, it all really needs to be kind of coming over here to the garage until opening. And that's what those guys see. These are the things that these guys gotta think of that. They gotta have that stuff ready. They gotta, now I don't expect for them to have it all the way over there, but and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna come here and they're gonna make I wish I made film it while they're out here doing it.
Okay.
And then I put it on, upload it. They're gonna pop lines, gonna start over there, they're gonna pop lines high enough all the way around. And that's where they know how to pour that concrete.
Like string lines that will build.
Yeah, they're gonna go all the way around, they're gonna pop those red lines all the way around. That's how that concrete gonna be. Chalk line, that's right, chalk line. So they're gonna pop it, and then what they're gonna do is when they start pouring, they're gonna start over there first, start coming back here, working that concrete back here, and then they're gonna make sure that you have a gradual fall all the way to the garage bay door. And that way I should be able to come here with a hose pipe and just run this thing full of water. And that water gonna automatically, water is gonna go down here, so that water needs to be going down. Now it may not happen all the way on that side. It may get trapped on it. I hadn't seen anybody that could just make it perfect. But in a perfect world, everything will come this way. Now you're gonna have a couple of puddles over here, a couple of puddles over there, and that's to be expected. But now when you get to that garage now, you really need to get out of there. And when you get down to the bay area, right to the bay opening, we'll have it just like that. Like for about a foot. We'll have it just like that. So that we make sure water don't be trying to get back up in there. You see what I'm saying? So we got the driveway, got a lot of water coming on this driveway. Cause see all this right here gotta go down too. This driveway you sitting on, that's the final grade. All this right here, before we put our drives, all this right here gonna be sloped toward that way. We'll make all that water run that way. We're gonna make everything run around this house. This is kind of like this is how you want to be. You want to be up on top of the hill. I'll be down to there, everybody. Y'all good?
No.
Anybody else? My guys got something? Man, y'all go back to school. Y'all go back home. Get on that thing. Take care of that stuff.
What we gonna do for 2 o'clock? 2
I don't-
o'clock class, Frank.
I hadn't figured that one out yet. But I'm just messing with you, man.
I got
There you is. Here you is. Yeah. Good. I got a whole class out here waiting on you. Let me ask this right here, man. How far can you get? You standing there right there? And I saw you. I was looking at you on that camera right there. I got to see it. I used to drive with you. But let me, no, I get it, man. We're good. I saw you, your back tire was on that hill right there. I got it. So you got it. No, I saw you taking pictures. But I got pictures of you. That back time. No, you're fine. But now, I just want, I'm the builder, man. I'm just trying to make sure where I get it to where my guys work. Oh, that's what you can do. That's all I need to do. Like, you can do it straight in. I can work this right here. I got the skin still in there already. So we're here. So you get it up there with the other guys to get his over there. We're here. Huh? No. I'm gonna hurt myself. I'll tell you what. You got this dog with your neck over. Don't let that back up. Okay. I didn't know that, so I didn't have all the information. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I see what you're saying. I didn't see all that on the camera. No, I'm good. No. I can see what you're talking about, man. I didn't see all that on the camera. Let me say this right here. Let me put this on camera while I'm talking about it. I have a confession. There's certain things you can't see on that camera. That truck was about to tilt over.
Yeah.
So that guy is not that he was trying to get out of not doing what he's supposed to do. In my mind, I probably thought that because I'm sitting here looking at it from a different angle. But I'm not him. I'm not feeling what's going on. So I was wrong. That truck is about to tilt over, man.
We saw it right there.
Yeah.
When he hit that, he was about to tilt over.
Yeah. So really, what needs to happen? I don't know. We need to slope this right here in such a way that these guys can get that stuff in there. They're gonna do it the other way. Now, you know, I got my PBL too. And, I was like, I told the lady. I told the lady that, yeah, I couldn't get it really weird. She told him. Man, give me that thing. I can do that. I know I can. As long as he right here, the water was, when we come to that first one here,
where you want it? That way you want it.
Hey, baby, you good, man? Oh, y'all heard that loose? We're in trouble. And that's another thing, man. It's just a felon to do it. Yeah. That's why you gotta look at when you look at it, man. They don't have the amount of dirt and rock that we have here, you know, that's why you don't see it. They have to take it from over here and ship it over there, so it's more expensive. It's more expensive to do a brick house in Atlanta than it would be to do it here. Birmingham. Now you know what a nice city is. All these parts. It feels like he's gonna cook over on so we start that's still stairs right there, man. Yeah. All right, man, go ahead and cut the live stream, man. Cause I need to call this guy. Uh-oh. How you stop it, man? Huh? Oh, there we go.